It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, folks, it's happening again. We're going to learn how to cook. It's happening November 12th, and we're all going to learn how to cook. It's been such a great time for the last 4 years, okay? Or this is the 4th year that the Speaker is having their cooking show. It's November 12th. We'll talk a lot more about that. Doors open at 1:30, 3 to 5. Make sure you get there. It's a lot of fun. Now, my good buddy John Patton is here today, and he is the operations manager at the Standard Speaker. John, it's nice to see you again.
Oh, it's great to be here. Good to see you. Thanks.
People are saying, how come John's back on your show? They miss you, John. Okay?
Well, I appreciate that.
So when I, decide to take some time off, we'll have you substitute for me, okay?
I'd be
John
available.
John Patton sitting in for Sam Lesante. You think you'll be able to talk, though, John? You think I could get something out of you?
I think maybe you might.
Yeah. So you're the operations manager at the Standard
Yes.
Speaker, and once again, a lot of great things happening. It's 150 years. You've been there, 75 years, right?
It feels like that. This is actually I'm in my 22nd year.
I can't believe it. I remember when you were first 22 years.
Yeah.
My gosh. Yeah. And once again, when you look at the Standard Speaker, we're very proud to be a media partnership, John. I work very well with your news department, and but the news department is great. No, really, when you look at the paper and you look at the country, very fortunate that you guys still are very strong as a local newspaper.
Oh, absolutely. And this is, I think, the #1 newspaper market in the country. I mean, we have a lot of dedicated readers, and we talked about the power that Time Shamrock has from the Scranton Times to the Citizen's Voice to Hazleton to the Republican Herald down in Pottsville. So we have all the information that anybody is looking for. You can find it within our group.
In the as we do here is the fact that there's a lot of events and things happening that benefit our community, and I know we have been, and so have Standard Speaker, been very gracious enough to give them as much publicity as we can. The shelters, for example, the Brandon Home. Forever Home, the different organizations. So that's the good thing about having that local information, which is so very important.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's what people have come to expect out of us. I mean, they expect the local stuff. They expect us to be involved in the giving shelter like that we're doing now. And certainly we're very happy to be a part of that and to be able to lend whatever support that we can to those worthwhile causes.
Similar things happen with your paper, as still being a strong readership paper in northeastern Pennsylvania. As we look at broadcast television across the country, John, and these are facts, these are not Sam Lesante just saying that, we see that more and more people are not watching broadcast television. They're decreasing by, in fact, even this week, they dropped another 3%. So you have all the broadcast, which is ABC, CBS, the network cable systems, they're dropping. But the increase in television viewers has been local programming like we have, okay?
Right.
Which is because people want to know what's happening in their hometown,
right?
Okay, and that's strong. With that being said, now we have, again, the cooking show, and it's just a lot of fun.
Oh, it is.
This show is a lot of fun.
It is.
So it's coming up November 12th. So let's talk about, the cooking show. Tell me what it is, and then I want to ask you how it compares to the Taste of Hazel.
Sure. Basically, what we've done is we've partnered with the Taste of Home Cooking School, and they go around the country. They do these demonstrations. So what will happen is when the doors open at 1:30, 1:15, 1:30, we have an expo. We have PPL will be there, Burgers will be there, Giant will be there, Gould's will be there, Libby's Ice Cream will be there, Thomas's Kitchen will be there, and I hope I don't miss anybody. Fairway will be there. So you'll be able to go through that, and some of these places will have giveaways, some of them will have food to taste, and then the show will start. And we have to thank the Keystone Job Corps because their students provide the culinary help. But the chef will prepare between 8 and 10 different dishes right on stage, and then at the end of that they'll give them away. So they'll teach you how to cook them. They'll walk you through the recipes will be in the book. They'll walk you through how to prepare it, and then at the end they give them away. We also have giveaways. We have goodie bags that people get at the beginning. We have grocery bag giveaways during the show and other stuff. So there's going to be a lot of that type of interaction with the audience.
Now, the number of years that you've had, okay, and I say it's a lot of fun because it's like really like a great day out. You know, a lot of people, as you see, come in from the different areas. But specifically, John, why did you start doing this? Why did the speaker start with the cooking?
Well, you asked me how it compared to the Taste of Hazleton, and the way it compared to the Taste of Hazleton is you go in there and there are different vendors from the Hazleton area. It's put on by the Chamber. It's a great event. It was about 2 weeks ago. And you go through and you taste all the different flavors of Hazleton. What this is we started this years ago. We had it in the early 2000s, and then there was a hiatus, and we brought it back because people asked us for it. It's a great way to get the community involved, but basically it's a day out where you can come and you can learn how to cook some things, especially for the fall now, stuff that you might want to take to your Thanksgiving dinner, and bring it back because the people asked us for it, and they've supported it. I mean, we have around 500 people a year. And you can see by the people who support it, as far as the sponsors, it works out well for everybody. But it's a great day out in November before the holidays. You're going to pick up something maybe for your holiday meal, and it's just a great day. And people, for $20 ticket, you get that back and more.
It's like buying the Sunday paper. In coupons alone, it more than pays for the paper. But when you look at for those people who have not been to the cooking show, the people who have been there, this is like, forget about it, they're going anyway. But if you want tickets, you could either get them at the Standard Speaker, or folks, a number you can call. It's sometimes he's in an office, okay? 570-501-3505. That's 570-501-3505. You call there for tickets to $20, but just like you said, you get more back. Give me how, for example, run me through the day. How does it start? What happens?
Well, what's important to know is that when you get your ticket, it's a reserved seat. So when the doors open up at 1:15 or 1:30, you don't need to be there. You're going to get a ticket. It's going to have a row and a seat number. So when you come to the event, you'll walk in. There'll be an expo. There'll be probably 20 vendors. You'll go to their tables. They're always giving stuff away. Giant usually has a table set up with food. Gould's usually has a table set up with food. The Standard Speaker has stuff that we give away. And what you do is you go through the expo. You go see the tables. You fill out your card. You register to win prizes, and then you take your seat. About 2:45, we try to get everybody seated, and then. Usually I give something away early, right before we start. And then the chef will come on, and she'll start the program, and she'll go through and she'll tell you how to prepare the stuff.
Who is the chef? Not like it's a qualified person.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Michelle Roberts is our chef this year. Okay. You can go on, like we've been running stories, so there, you can take a look at them online. But the day of the event, there'll be a tab that gets printed, and in there will be all the stuff that her qualifications.
Yeah. Okay. So then she comes out, and does she have a dish of the day, or?
She'll start with an appetizer and go right through to a dessert. So there's 8 of them that she'll prepare, and it takes some time. So in between, we will have we'll have giveaways, or we'll have little talks or whatever.
Yeah. So do you know what she's making this year?
No, that's always a surprise. Yeah. And then what they'll do is the day of, they will give you a cookbook, and it'll have everything that she's doing.
Okay, now, so in other words, what she's making, I will know how to do that.
Yep,
okay?
you'll be able to follow right along.
Now, did they give you the book before? Or
yes, it's in your bag. It's in your goodie bag, and then you take it out and you follow along.
Okay. Now, do you ever get people from the audience to come up and help?
What we'll do is the staff from the Keystone Job Corps will do that kind of stuff. But then what we do is when we give away the stuff in the audience, that's where we have the interaction. So it's the only time that they'll come in is when they win the food. They'll come up and they'll get there at the end of the program. The 10 dishes or 8 dishes, whatever it is, will be given away. We'll pick winners out, and those people will be able to take actually the food and the dish that was prepared in home.
Fabulous. So now, do you want me to be singing before the event? Because I could come there and do a pre-show event. I could sing a couple songs. So not your songs.
Well, what we'll do is we'll take a poll there and see what kind of response we get to that.
Say, you want Sam Lesante to sing next year before the event, okay? Though I know a number of people that were there last year, and like I said, it's like a day out. It's a fun day. Talking to John Patton, folks, the operation manager at the Standard Speaker, We're talking about the Standard Speaker Cooking Show, which happens, this is the 4th year at the Wiltsey Center. And you can get your tickets, as I said, either at the Standard Speaker or give them a call at 570-501-3505. A lot more about the show. We come back after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 24/7, you can watch all of our programs on ssptv.com, HD 513 in the Greater Hazleton area, as well as Channel 13. And folks, as you may know by looking at the Standard Speaker Monday through Thursday, and then my ads on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are now running our news 14 times a day, 24 hours of hometown news and information. So we're very happy about that. So we give you the first, second, and third shift. Thank you very much for the response we've had so far. My email, sam@ssptv.com. This year, the 4th year of the Standard Speakers conducting their cooking show, I have the main man from the Standard Speaker, operations manager. He's the janitor, he cleans the walls, he does everything down there. John Patton. John, going again, the cooking show is November 12th, right?
Right.
Doors are open at 1:30?
1:30, yep.
It's from 3 to 5. If the tickets are $20.
Right.
Which they'll get way back from all the different bags. What's in those bags that you get?
There's the Taste of Home provides a packet. It's a lot of national stuff. There's coupons in there, but there's also goodies there's candy and stuff that comes from some of our local people, as well as anything that the vendors want to put in. So last year, everyone got a bottle of vanilla additive. It was like an Italian, and you could add it to cooking and coffee. It really went over well. So that alone was probably $5 or $6 just for that bottle. That's a surprise, what they send us every year. Some years, one year it was a chicken soup type mix. So it's always different stuff. One year it was like a peanut butter type thing, a jar of peanut butter. So it's always something good that people are going to use.
Okay. Now, the show alone is exciting to begin with, but the vendors that are there, okay, they have a lot to offer, and they're giving things out. You were mentioning about Burger Family Dealerships.
Right.
What's happening with them?
Burgers will have a truck out front, and what they'll do is they will collect canned goods that will be delivered to the food pantry.
So people have to bring canned goods?
Yep. What you do is you bring a canned good. And
how do people know that? Other than us seeing it right now.
Exactly.
So if you bring a can of Campbell's soup or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So I bring the can and I put it in a truck, and what do I get?
You get a ticket. And then during the course of the show, there'll be prizes that we give away based on the ticket. So if you bring 5 canned goods, get 5 tickets. Okay. And what we'll do is this year we're going to give away a microwave and packs of tickets to see the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins play. So there'll be packs of tickets that we're going to give away there. So that truck will sit out front. You'll get the ticket and you'll come in. You'll walk in, and then that's where the vendor expo is. PPL will be there giving stuff away. Like I said, Giant will be there. We'll be there. Thomas's Kitchens will be there. Gould's will be there. Some of them will. Leiby's ice cream. Yeah, we have.
Are they going to give ice cream away?
Yeah, we have. Actually, we will scoop it out. We have.
Seriously?
Yes. Last year we had Yingling. They came in this year. They came in with their ice cream last
I thought you
year.
meant the beer.
Yeah, that would have been okay.
Yeah.
But this year, Leiby's has stepped up. They're sending us at least 2 different flavors. One is going to be a holiday flavor. It might be their peppermint or something like that. And we will actually scoop that out. And so we will have that available. Giant will have food. Gould's will have food. Anybody else will have a table. So anybody else has a table, they'll be giving stuff away. We'll have like dessert things. Last year we gave away, they were little pumpkin or apple tart treat type things. So before the show, there's enough for you to do to keep you occupied.
My gosh, yes. Yeah.
And then once you get seated before the show, we usually have a couple giveaways before the show, once everybody is seated. And the way that you qualify for that is when you come in, there's a 2-part form that you fill out. One goes to Taste of Home, that will get you on their mailing list, and the other one stays with us, and that's how we use to pick the prizes.
Now, when you're giving, it seems like there's a lot of activities going on, and plus, well worth the $20. You give the gift bags, okay? You have door prizes, and including the ranges. What's that all about?
Well, at the end of the show, we have 2 ranges that we use to do the cooking. and we give away the 2 ranges to 2 people. And I said I know that because usually on Monday morning I have to deliver it to the winner, which is great. I mean, we don't mind doing that, but that is the Grand Central is our partner there, and they provide the ranges and the microwave. And so what will happen is all those, someone's going to go home. That's not technically correct because we have to deliver it. But someone will win those prizes, and usually on Monday morning, we'll show up at their house and deliver their new range.
Now you get a different group of people. I mean, there's all different ages. I mean, what are some of the comments that you've had? You get a lot of comments.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are people who have been there. They'd like us to do it more than once a year.
Yeah.
But I got a call on Monday from Syracuse, New York. They're having almost like a family reunion here in Hazleton at the cooking show. They're coming 3 hours. They have people that are coming 3 hours from the south. They're meeting in Hazleton just for the cooking show. And they look for that. They look to have, that's what they do. They spend their day. So we get people probably from 4 or 5 different states. And we get people from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. We have people from D.C., Maryland. So again, it is something that, brings people to the area. Some of the people are people that were from the Hazleton area, have moved out, and maybe they're using this to come in, see some family, and spend the day with us, and maybe spend the rest of the weekend with family. So we're more than happy to provide that service.
John, when you go to these, my wife and I watch, not a lot of, we watch the cooking shows, and I think my wife could teach half of them that, because she's great with seasoning, and she's just a great cook. But you learn from these professionals. So, like, for example, sometimes you notice that they do things and they mix and you say, well, I would never think about using that, okay?
Right.
I mean, so this is the,
Oh yeah, and the other thing too, which I like, is they'll give you maybe a shortcut. Like maybe there's a recipe and they'll say, well, if you don't have this, you can do this.
Yes.
And I think that's a lot of what happens is, people cook who like to cook, they'll know they'll make some of these changes. But if you're new to this, or if you're just starting out, or if you want to learn to be a better cook, you come here, you get some tips from them, and they'll say, well, if you don't have the dry this, you can use the and I'm sitting up there going, oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
But it really is those kind of things that are helpful, not just that day, but when you're home by yourself.
Yeah. Now, have you benefited from this? I know because you don't cook, you just make sandwiches.
No,
Your
listen.
wife told me you do nothing at the house. Okay?
Yes, I do. I used to cook. I like to cook. My son loves to cook. He said to me, "Can I come up and make sure that I help out at the cooking show?" Because that's the kind of stuff. And I think that's why we say there's no age limit. I mean, no age limit. It doesn't have to be for someone who is a cook. It could be someone who wants to learn how to cook, or someone who just wants to spend a day, or someone who wants to come up and try and win a range. So there is no set demographic for this. My son will be there, and he will be more than happy to take in whatever information he can get.
Tell him to tell his father to. Now, when the chef or the cooking person, the professional person is there, are they? What are they making? For example, last year, what was the main meal?
They made like some chicken, like maybe stuffed with broccoli or that kind of stuff. They made I know they made like a chocolate cake. They made some kind of potatoes. Or you go, what is that? When you look at it, and then when it comes out, you're like, well, that would be great, And like I said, a lot of the times the stuff that they're making is stuff that you would look at it and go, well, that looks really hard. And then when you see them make it, or you see it, you go, it's not really that hard.
Yeah.
And again, those are the kind of things that I think this show brings to people is, anybody can cook. I mean, they really can. And these are just helpful hints to get you through.
That's the thing. I was just when you talk about helpful hints, for example, if they're making, let's say, chicken, or if they're making pork, or if they're making beef, or fish, okay, or a vegetarian meal, okay, sometimes, even though they're making pork, they're telling you, now, if you get meat, they give you these helpful hints as to some of the things, how to prepare it, should it come from when you take it out of the freezer, and, different things, what to buy, how to look for I mean, it's amazing that so much you can learn from that.
Oh, absolutely. And you get like some shortcuts. You're going to get some shortcuts here, but you're going to get some helpful hints. And again, you may not be able to do all 10. You may only pick up one, and it may be the one that you take to Thanksgiving dinner.
Plus, the bag has all the goodies in it.
Yep.
The person who comes up, who is it coming this year?
Michelle Roberts.
Yeah. And you said you have articles on who she is. So okay. Now, do you have a Q&A at any time?
We haven't done that. That's interesting. We have not done that as far as the audience interaction goes. That's an interesting topic. We have not done that in the 3 years. But sometimes what they'll do is someone will ask a question from the audience, but there's, they'll say, is there any questions? And someone will ask a question, but not a specific, time set aside for it. But that's an interesting theory.
Yeah. You know why? The reason is that sometimes, and what happens is when they're they start cooking, okay? Then as people see what's going on, some people have, for example, if you're making a sauce or if you're doing, they have ideas. And they would say, well, I wonder if I would do this. And then so she's maybe it has some downtime, okay? Let's say, I could entertain 1 or 2 questions, okay? And so there's Sam Lesante, and Sam would say, well, while you're making this, do I have to do this? And so it'd be interesting to do that.
Oh, yeah, I like that idea. We'll talk a little bit about that because there is time in between when they're doing some preparation. There is time. A lot of that time they'll put up, like stuff that on the video screens because I want to make sure that everybody understands that you don't have to be in the front row to see what she's doing. We have 2 video screens up there, and a lot of times they'll do something that people will talk on the video screen while she's doing something. But that might be a good idea.
And here's a better idea for
yes,
you.
Sir.
Okay, why don't you have people ask questions if you have submit questions. So she could say, we got a question here from Sam Lesante, or Sam, okay, from Pottsville or whatever, and he'd like to know about such and such. And so in case, you have microphone problems or whatever, so at least she could entertain some of those questions. So before that, you could say, if you have any questions, write them down or whatever, and you'll have someone pick them up or whatever.
Yeah.
It just makes it more working with the person, interacting with that. Because that's what it's basically all about,
yes.
right? Interactive. John, stick with me. I mean, believe me.
I appreciate that.
I have a lot of great ideas. John Patton, folks, the Operation Manager Standard Speaker, will come back. We'll wrap it up with a cooking show. If you got to go, it's a lot of fun. November 12th. Make the reservation now. Call him. Please call him, folks. I want you to call him. I don't want you to stop in. I want you to call him on the phone. I want him to be on the phone. At least he gets in his office and works instead of going to meetings. It's 570-501-3505. That's 570-501-3505. So I'm so excited about the fact that I know they're going to call you, and I want you there, John, answering the phones. Yeah, I take your reservation, Dad. Damn Lesante, I'm going to kill him. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. It's cooking time. November 12th, Standard Speaker is having their cooking show, the 4th year at the Wilsey Center in Hazleton. It is, doors open at 1:30. Show starts between 3 and 5. A lot of goodies before, the vendors, the whole bit. John Patton's here, who is the main person of that particular event. So, John, you have the vendors, you have the gifts, you have enough that $20 is well worth it because you're going to get it back. What else happens there?
We actually have, and I'm not sure if I said this, so if I did, I apologize, but during the course of the event, we will have bags from the grocers. So Giant and Gould's will give us bags full of stuff, and we will select 25, 35 people to win bags of groceries in addition to everything they got at the beginning. And then there's other prizes that we give out during the course of the show. But Giant and Gould's have in the past have given us bags, so they'll be sitting on the stage, and then we'll pick those names out and those people will walk home with a nice stuffed bag of groceries when they leave.
Well, the interesting thing is like how many people you have involved in the Keystone Job Corps has been very helpful to you, correct? I mean,
oh yeah, Ross has been great working with us. They're there all day. I mean, they're up at usually around 8 o'clock, and they spend the entire day with us, and they do such a fantastic job. We had done the first year, maybe 2, we had volunteers, and people like to help out, like to volunteer. But we thought getting them involved, it's actually practical experience for them. It's something they could put on their resume. So I think it works out well for both of us. But they've been great the last couple of years helping out and really stepping up and making it a lot easier on me, trying to get people to help out during the day because it's basically an all-day event.
Yes,
I mean, they're there at 8 and they don't leave until the end of the show. They get some TV time. They get to be on stage and they get to do some of the prep work. So it really is practical experience for them.
Well, you that's a major job for you, isn't it? I mean,
It is. I mean, we work for, probably 3 or 4 months getting it set up, getting all the sponsors in, doing all the stuff, getting the tickets. We do everything in-house. I mean, we do all the tickets in-house. We take the orders. We address the envelopes. We mail them out. So it is well worth it. It's a fun day. And really, I hope people take advantage of it because it is, if for no other reason than to get to see the Wiltsey Center, or listen to me for 2 hours.
Well,
they're 2 good reasons to come up.
No. Folks, it's a lot of fun. John Patton, remember the phone number, and please, I want you to call. I want you to call the number, 570-501-3505. That is his number. Tell him you want whatever ticket you want, and he'll make sure he takes care of that. I want him busy at least from 8 o'clock in the morning, 5. John, it's always nice to see you, seriously.
Great
You're
to
my
be
best,
here.
my
Thanks,
buddy
Sam.
Paul Ross, and you guys are doing a great job. And like I said, Samson Productions SSP TV is very, very proud to be a media partnership with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. And you're a lot of fun, too.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks.
So when I'm not here for the show, John Patton's going to sit in for me, folks. November 12th, okay, 1:30, the doors open, 3 to 5, 570-501-3505, or you can go to Standard Speaker, pick up the tickets. It is a lot of fun. We'll see you next time.